Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am so thrilled you're joining us today because we're jumping right into a topic that hits literally all of our wallets every single day. We're looking at daily budgeting, and specifically, we are focusing on a simple but absolutely game-changing habit, the 24-hour spending rule. If you've ever felt like your paycheck just kind of vanishes, or if you're trying to build up some solid financial stability, you are in exactly the right place. So let's get right into it. Look, have you ever bought something online at midnight only to wake up and immediately regret it the next morning? We have all been there. It's a completely universal experience. You're scrolling on your phone, you see something shiny, and boom, you've bought it. And then the sun comes up and you just think, why in the world did I buy that? I really want to start by acknowledging this because we need to destigmatize that guilt around emotional spending. It happens to the absolute best of us. And as you'll see, our brains are actually hardwired to fall right into this trap. Section 1. The impulse buying trap. Why we spend without thinking. So impulse buying is a massive hurdle, especially today with the constant illusion of flash sales and those massive big billion event days. These environments are meticulously designed to trick us, especially everyday families who are just trying to stretch their daily budget for real priorities like rent and education. These sales make us think we're saving money when really we're just spending cash we didn't plan to. So what's actually driving this? Well, it usually boils down to emotional triggers: stress, boredom, excitement, sadness. When we shop on impulse, we are rarely fulfilling a genuine need. Instead, shopping becomes this emotional outlet. We're just seeking a quick mood boost. Whether it's the thrill of a great day or trying to cope with a really stressful one, we literally hand over our cash just to change how we feel in that exact moment. Section 2. The psychology of spending, deconstructing the brain. To really beat this impulse buying trap, we have to look under the hood and understand what's happening inside our heads. Because the reality is, retailers are actively working against our biology. And it all centers around one incredibly powerful chemical: dopamine. That is your brain's feel-good neurotransmitter. When you spot a potential purchase, you get this rush of excitement, and your dopamine just spikes. This dopamine-driven feedback loop literally hijacks your prefrontal cortex, which is the rational decision-making part of your brain. When dopamine floods the system, your logic gets completely overridden, and that chemical rush just shoves you straight toward the buy button before you've even made a conscious choice. And marketers know this. They exploit this biological hijack through a brilliant, albeit sneaky, tactic called manufactured urgency. You know exactly what these look like: limited time offers, buy one, get one, only two left in stock, or my personal favorite, those super stressful little countdown timers ticking away at the top of the screen. Those aren't just fun design choices, they are highly calculated tactics. The internet uses these features to keep us trapped in that dopamine loop, deliberately preventing our rational thought from ever catching up. Section 3. The 24-hour rule, your biological cooling off period. So how on earth do we fight back against our own brain chemistry and these multi-million-dollar algorithms? Well, the ultimate empowering solution actually costs absolutely nothing, and it revolves entirely around the number 24. Here is the rule, plain and simple. Before you buy any non-essential item, you must pause for exactly 24 hours. Just think of it as a financial detox. This forced pause sits right in that critical gap between "I want this" and "I bought this." By forcing yourself to wait one full day, you give your prefrontal cortex the time it desperately needs to regain control from that massive dopamine rush. There is a fantastic quote that really hits the nail on the head here. Most impulse purchases lose their charm within 24 hours. And it's so true. If you step away for a day and find that the intense, burning urge to buy that thing has completely vanished, congratulations. You've successfully separated your fleeting emotions from your actual, genuine needs. You just saved your money, and honestly, you saved yourself from tomorrow's buyer's remorse. Section 4. Scaling your wait time. Matching the pause to the price. Now, you might be wondering, what happens when the item is a bit more expensive than a t-shirt or a takeout order? While a single day works beautifully for low-cost items like clothes or dining out, higher stakes demand a scalable strategy. So for mid-tier items, we're talking electronics or small appliances, you want to scale that wait up to 48 hours. And for high-cost items like furniture or luxury goods, you're going to implement a full 30-day waiting period. Extending that wait time essentially acts as a gatekeeper for your budget. The bigger the purchase, the stronger that dopamine pull is going to be. So the longer you need to wait to make absolutely sure it's a rational choice. Okay, let's do a quick reality check. There are obviously exceptions to this rule, but we need a really clear mental filter to tell the difference. On one hand, we have true emergencies: a burst pipe, necessary medicine, urgent home repairs. If delaying the purchase causes real, tangible harm, you act immediately. This rule is here to serve your finances, not put you in danger. But contrast that with manufactured urgency. Flash sales, only 3 left banners. Those are literally never acceptable reasons to skip the waiting period. In fact, if you see a countdown timer, that is the exact moment you need to hold the line the hardest. Section 5, Winning at Online Shopping, Actionable Tactics for E-commerce. So knowing the rule is great, but actually applying it online, that's a whole different beast. E-commerce platforms are the hardest battleground because they are engineered from the ground up for instant gratification. We need practical defenses here to slow ourselves down. So here's a highly effective 3-step action plan you can implement right now. Step 1, disable those one-click buying shortcuts. Use a browser extension if you have to, but force yourself to manually enter your shipping and payment details every time. Step 2, add items to a wish list instead of your shopping cart. This lets you park the item without committing. And step 3, review that list tomorrow. By deliberately slowing down your checkout process with these physical steps, you can easily break that cycle of immediate digital gratification. Here is another incredibly simple but fantastic tactic. Keep a spending journal to log your wants manually. Instead of buying the item, just write down what you wanted to buy. Why does this work? Because this simple, physical act of manual logging builds incredible self-awareness. When you go back and review that journal 24 hours later, you will be absolutely amazed at how many of those things you just don't care about anymore. Section 6. Calculating the real cost, paradigm-shifting math. So you've decided to wait 24 hours. Awesome. But what should you actually do during that time? Well, you can productively use that waiting period to evaluate the item's true financial value to your life. Let's run through 2 really quick calculations. First up, hours worked. Just divide the purchase price by your hourly wage. If you make $25 an hour, a $150 impulse buy literally costs you 6 hours of your working life. Suddenly, that gadget might not seem worth a whole day at the office. Second is cost per use. Divide the price by the realistic number of times you're actually going to use it. A $200 gadget you might touch 3 times is wildly expensive compared to a $60 pair of shoes you're going to wear 100 times. Doing this quick math completely reframes an item's real expense. When you step back and put all of this together, it really boils down to one fundamental truth. The 24-hour rule ensures that you control your money, not the other way around. By adopting this one simple habit, you are actively protecting your hard-earned salary from emotional triggers and sneaky marketing algorithms. It is just an incredibly practical way for everyday consumers like us to prioritize what truly matters and create real, long-term financial stability. I want to wrap up by leaving you with this lingering challenge. Can you wait just one day? The very next time you find your mouse hovering over a bright, colorful Buy Now button, I challenge you to take a breath, step back, close the browser, and just let a full 24 hours pass. Chances are your wallet and your future self are going to be thanking you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy intentional saving.